Hey guys, and welcome to the Sports Blocks coverage of the Middle Creek Mustangs versus Lake Norman Wildcats. We're here for the North Carolina Men's Lacrosse Final. Alongside me, Daniel Wingman and Adam Ireland.
Good to be here for Middle Creek trying to go for its second straight championship, while Lake Norman's trying to end a two-game championship losing streak.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be back. It's kind of weird being in the booth and not on the field this year, but I hope the boys do what they do and get another ring, man.
Yeah, Daniel, you've played in this game before. What is going through the players' minds right now?
Well, you know, coming from the mind of a player, it's kind of hard because you realize that it's a big game, but you also realize that it's just another game. So you try to put it all behind you. You know, this is cool when you get to see all your friends and family, and they're all cheering for you when you get, you know, your name called, and, you know, some of the guys who don't play as much or are freshmen. You know, it's really surreal. But for the starters, the guys, the seniors who've done this before, like AJ King, JJ Tolentino, Owen Caputo, you know, they just kind of zen and they get going. They don't really buy into all the hype until afterwards, and they can throw the gloves and dogpile after the championship.
Exactly. Before a big game like this, you have to stay focused. You don't want to make any mistakes, silly mistakes that could cost you the championship.
Yeah, absolutely, especially because it's the wet weather. The rain is off and on, so we could see a downpour in the middle of the third quarter. I mean, who knows? Yeah. So just stay focused, and these guys should come out with another championship.
Exactly. You always talk about just play your game. Always coaches before big games like this always ask, are you going to do anything differently? And always the coach is like, no. If we come out and play our game, we'll be fine. And so if Middle Creek comes out and plays their game, they will be fine today. And if Lake Norman, and at the same time, Lake Norman also has to come out and play their game if they want a chance to win this game. It's kind of, you just got to come out and do what you do.
Definitely.
Do what you've done all year. So that's what got you to this point.
Definitely, and as the last Middle Creek players announced, the mist starts coming down here at Wake Med Soccer Park in Cary, North Carolina. Lake Norman's players about to be announced now. It's an exact repeat of last year's state final, in which Middle Creek won that one 17-8.
Yeah, last year's Middle Creek team was the most statistically dominant team in North Carolina that year. We never allowed a game where an opponent scored over 8 goals, and we won every game by 4 points or more. The team this year isn't as dominant because they've lost a lot. They lost a lot of depth. There are a lot more freshmen on the Middle Creek roster as compared to last year. There's about 2.5 solid lines of middies, and then the rest is kind of underclassmen guys who've been put on varsity who are good and show promise, but they're not proven players like we have on the team. So the team hasn't been as statistically dominant, but these guys are still 21-0, hoping to bring it to 22-0. I mean, these guys play hard as anybody I've ever seen, so I think they can get it done. Yeah,
I mean, you talk about they technically aren't, but at the same time, they've only had 2 games that they have allowed over 7 goals. One of those was against the defending 3A champs Weddington in a rainy day game in Charlotte, where Weddington was probably 20 minutes away, and then against Apex in the playoffs when they allowed 11, but at the same time, that was the 3rd time they played Apex, and Apex is always a perennial power. So it's like you kind of expected the Apex game to be a different game because you're playing a perennial power who's also your rival for the 3rd time. So they're doing their best. So they're
definitely in an amazing atmosphere here. You can see the Creek Crazies over here and the Lake Norman Feds. It's definitely going to be an excellent game.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this. I want to see how the rain will affect the play as compared to last year. I know Graham Schwartz last year won the MVP with a dominant performance in the faceoffs. I also know that Lake Norman got a different faceoff guy, a freshman, I believe, who is also extremely good. So we'll see how Graham does against this guy. Graham's a junior now, so he definitely knows what he's doing in this area. This is his expertise area, so I think he can come out and show the young buck what to do and get this team a lot of good opportunities on the offensive end.
Yeah, you got to think after last week of neither Graham or the Cardinal Gibbons face-off player on Tuesday had a clean face-off win. So you got to think that Graham has a little chip on his shoulder. He wants to come out and just win a couple face-offs early on and get his team rolling offensively.
Yeah. Also, the other thing is, with Middle Creek graduating a lot of seniors last year, the depth isn't as much. Lake Norman has 42 players as compared to Middle Creek's 35. I don't know how Lake Norman will use that extra manpower against them, or if they even will.
It could just be the fact of more people tried out, or Lake Norman head coach wanted to put had more players he wanted to put on varsity.
Yeah, and squad depth in a game like this, you can rotate players in and out. Try not to let any of your players get too tired. That can definitely help as two big rosters.
Yeah, one thing that I have noticed this year differently is that A.J. King on the offensive end, he does not come off as soon as the ball is cleared. This year, he's actually factored into the offense, which I think is very interesting because AJ is a very skilled offensive player as well as defensively. So it is an interesting sight to see Longpool playing offense.
Yeah, he definitely is, as he leads the team with 10 interceptions, and he's second on the team in takeaways. So it's smart to have him lead the offense, because a lot of the time when you have a fast break, chances are he's going to be the guy leading it from the defensive side. So you have him lead it. So Lake Norman might, or the other team might focus on AJ, but AJ is coordinating with his team. So when they focus on AJ immediately knows, I need to pass it to Owen, or I need to pass it to Jake, JJ, David, whoever's on the field.
And congratulations to Seth Rogers on that award. I forget exactly what it is, but I think it's academic. I want to say it's an academic award.
I believe it's a sportsmanship award.
Sportsmanship, that's it, yep. So good job to him being a good sport. I think that's voted by his teammates, I don't remember.
I think that award is voted by your teammates and coaches, yeah.
Yeah, so congrats to him on that. I know last year he played junior varsity, and this year he made the varsity roster and is very excited to be a part of this team as his last year.
That's excellent for him.
Yeah, Middle Creek is on a 43-game win streak and has won 95 of its last 103 games, which includes 1 state championship, 1 East runner-up, and 2 East champions. So it's kind of Middle Creek has definitely been experienced of winning, but and on the same time for Weddington, they've won 142 of their last 173. So both these teams are no strangers to winning.
Yeah,
definitely. This is both these teams very experienced teams, very good teams, and I think that's going to show here on the field today.
Yeah, Lake Norman, I definitely see them coming at us with a chip on their shoulder, because last year we held them to 8 goals in the state championship. And, it's playing the same team over again. You want to come at them again. I know that's how we were my junior year when we played Hoggard. When we lost to them, we came at them and we're like, all right, we know what to do to shut these guys down. So I know these guys are very focused, and they know that the key players that they have to take away, such as Owen Caputo and JJ Tolentino, have played very well in these past few games in the playoffs.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's going to be hard to shut down Owen Caputo with 91 goals on the year, so it's going to be hard to shut him down. But at the same time, if you shut him down, then the offense immediately goes through Jake Caputo, his little brother, who's also committed to Duke. So there's kind of no really good option. It's kind of like sometimes you talk about baseball. There's not really like one player you can pitch around, because sometimes in baseball your lineup's so stacked you can't just pitch around one player. It's almost like Middle Creek's offense. It's like, okay, you shut down Owen Caputo. All right, you still have to deal with the rest of the offense that's very talented as well. That's probably the same way with Lake Norman. Middle Creek could probably take away Matthew Elder, the leading scorer for the Wildcats, but Tucker Goldie or Blake Leckie would just pick up the slack, or his little brother Drew Leckie.
Yeah, one thing I have also noticed is David Baird is being attacked this year. He played midfield most of last year and was very effective, but this year he's playing attack and has actually been more effective, in my opinion, than he was in the past 2 years. So that's going to be something that Lake Norman is also going to have to deal with. I know they've watched film on him, but he's gotten very, very quick. His reflexes have improved, and he's got a very quick twitch. Also, a new attackman this year is Jimmy Slate, who is an extremely good passer behind the net. He plays the X spot mostly. And then, of course, North Carolina's all-time leading scorer with 96 or 97 goals.
That's amazing.
Owen Caputo, yeah. If he has 3 or 4 today, he's the first person in North Carolina history to reach the 300-goal mark. He just passed the 500-point mark against Cardinal Gibbons. I mean, this kid just keeps racking up awards, and he should carry on very well at Duke.
Definitely, and those are some amazing records.
Our face-off is between Graham Schwartz and Drew Elder, so it's between a junior and a sophomore here, so definitely be good. And Drew Elder just comes out and cleanly wins it for the Wildcats as he takes a shot and goal and scores right away.
The Wildcats have an early goal here, 5 seconds into play, and Lake Norman take a 1-0 lead.
Lake Norman cannot ask for a better start.
Yeah, Garrett Patrick bit on the fake, and it opened up an easy right-handed shot for the Fogo Elder. So that's just something Graham has to do a better job of tying it up. I mean, Elder won that one clean and got a free fast break goal, 4-on-3. It's very tough. Lance Skelton just got beat topside. That was a fantastic play by Elder. Hopefully Graham can bounce back here.
And a power move by Lake Norman to get started with a goal that fast in the game. They're going to hope, Middle Creek's going to hope that doesn't have too much of a psychological effect on them.
And Graham's going to win. Oh, Graham almost wins this face-off, but Lecky ends up coming up with it. Lecky appears to be very shifty here as Tucker Goodell comes up with it for the Wildcats.
For the
Wildcats.
Looks outside, finds Mitchell Cody.
Yeah, so Middle Creek playing a man defense here, and we talk about players who have stepped up a lot this year. Harrison Ryder for the Mustangs has stepped up a lot this year on the back defensive line to go along, be one of the starters on the back defensive line along with Benjamin Lever and A.J. King. What you see is Steiner stepping up.
Here comes Tucker Goodell.
Back
outside.
So Mitchell Cody has it behind the goal now for the Wildcats. He's working on Ryder here. He tries to pass it back to Goodell. So number 11, Drew Elder has it back now. Face-off man. You don't always see your face-off man. And it's going to be intercepted by A.J. King, the leading interceptor for the Mustangs, but he did step out, so it's going to be Lake Norman ball.
And A.J.'s getting it in his head now. He's trying to talk, play his game. He plays very aggressive, and maybe not the best move. Probably just spun back, but good save there by Lance Skelton.
By the shot on from Travis Maynard here.
Yeah, an excellent save there to keep his side in it.
As Benjamin Lever is going to bring it up the court, the field for the Mustangs and dumps it off to Jake Caputo. Graham Schwartz. So Owen Caputo has it now, as we talked about, probably the best player on the field for both teams and probably the best player in the state.
Yeah, talk about a danger man, Owen Caputo. We've seen what he can do.
So look for Middle Creek on this field. It appears to be larger than, looks maybe a little larger than what they play on back at Middle Creek to utilize the whole field with spread out the defense here. Be interesting to see. Lake Norman has come out in a man, so interesting that they didn't go to a zone, which kind of caught Middle Creek off guard against Gibbons, which kind of portrayed to some of Middle Creek's offensive troubles. And this is going to be a shot here by David Baird, but it's going to be corralled by the goalie.
Yeah.
So
Middle Creek is going to have to stop taking these bounce shots.
It's a second. Lake Norman taking 2-0
goal by number 22, Matthew Elder, the leading scorer for the Wildcats, strikes again to give Lake Norman an early 2-0 lead.
And Middle Creek are going to have to shore up that defense there. They cannot keep on conceding like this.
That's all right, though. Last year Middle Creek was down 3-0, and we came back and it ended pretty well. So
that's very true.
Give it time. I see Coach Halota taking a timeout before the end of the first quarter, especially if Lake Norman gets a 3-0 lead, to kind of shore up the defense. They didn't get back, and we didn't have sticks inside, so it allowed an easy cross crease for an easy goal.
And this is definitely not. And Graham knocks it away. Graham Schwartz knocks it away from Elder, and Graham's going to come up with it, so he passes it back to Ryder here. Who passed it all? The King.
The ball was just a bit too high for us.
Actually, that was bad pass from Garrett Patrick to Ryder. So Lake Norman's going to get the ball and get another offensive possession here.
And I think that has to do with the wet stick. Ben Lever playing good defense, and Elder just fell down.
And he still hung on to the ball. Good job there by Elder of hanging on to it, especially in these wet conditions. The ball probably, you got to think, is going to be sliding around a little more. It's not going to be as firm as it usually. In the stick as it usually is.
The good defense by Tolentino got to turn him at the crease.
Oh, just wide.
Just wide from Mitchell Cody here for the from Travis Maynard here for the Wildcats. They will still have it though, as Mitchell Cody starts with for the Wildcats. So Mitchell Cody guarded here by Ryder. Guarded here by Ryder. Now Tolentino was shadowing Maynard here.
Travis Maynard hanging out behind the net. They're just looking for an option.
And they're putting a short stick behind the net because it's a lot harder to turn him. But he does manage to turn him. Now Lever's got him.
Yeah, as Ryder back on defense. So that's going to bring Garrett guarded by a King here. as King is guarding Tucker Goodell, the second leading scorer for the Wildcats.
Good job by Garrett Patrick getting on his hands, making it a tough pass. Schwartz could have picked that off if he got a better jump on it, but
definitely so far seems like the best defensive possession from Middle Creek, not letting Lake Norman get anything, getting back to fundamentals as Drew Elders takes a shot here, just tries to take a wild shot and see what happens. But it's still going to stay Lake Norman ball as Matthew Elder was behind the goal, so he was closest to the ball as it went out of bounds.
It was an ambitious strike there.
It's kind of one of those plays where it's like he kind of saw an opportunity, but a little opportunity, so he decided to take it. So he's kind of like, they have the momentum right now, so he said, why not take it?
Yeah, I mean, in a final like this, you want to take all the opportunities possible. If you don't have any passing opportunities going forward, why not take the shot and see what comes of it? And they got the ball back.
I'm sure head coach James Brugger for the Wildcats is telling his good players, as Tolentino comes up with it, then he loses it. So he loses it, so then Graham Schwartz is going to come up with it for the Mustangs, the face-off man. Gets it over to Tolentino.
Yeah, your sticks throw a little higher in the rain, so or when they get wet. So hopefully the boys can realize that and reel it in, because as we saw on the overpass from Patrick to Ryder, it went a lot higher than he was expecting, and it forced a turnover. Good job by the Mustangs on defense as Caputo takes it down the wing. Is going to move it back to A.J. King.
Yeah, so A.J. King has it at the top of the field, at the top of the box. And A.J. works to look inside. Gets it over to Jay Caputo, the second leading scorer for the Mustangs, who had two the other night against Cardinal Gibbons. Tolentino takes a shot.
Scores! Have a goal.
Make the score 2-1 Lake Norman.
That's a great goal. Jake threw the double team on double spin back, and JJ was wide open, and that is cash money every time.
Definitely. Excellent shot from Tolentino right there.
That's exactly what the Mustangs needed.
And against Apex, JJ Tolentino had 8 goals, almost a triple hat trick, something I've never seen before. You know, against a team like Apex.
Yeah, he was 8 for 8, 8 goals and 8 shots on goal. So he was definitely against Apex. He's shown that he
very efficient,
has the power to carry a team in the game. Which Middle Creek has several of those players.
And Graham has not gotten a clean clamp on any face-off so far. Number 11.
Drew Elder here is going to come up with it. Drew Elder's definitely had his number, but the face-offs have definitely been more easily won than in the Gibbons game. Nice save here by Lance Skelton off the shot from Drew Elder. So Graham Schwartz is going to take it up the field. Graham Schwartz has been playing a lot today.
Caputo is calling for it down low on a fast break, but Graham wanted to slow it up and get himself off the field. It's Drew Young, and a fantastic save by the goalie, Ricky Bokovic.
Great save there by Bokovic for the Wildcats.
Yeah, Drew Young with a great cut inside, and Caputo found him. Bokovic made a great save.
Yeah, he had to stay standing tall for that and wait for the ball to come to him and react. Pushed it over the net in the end.
Yeah, that's one of those shots where if you're Coach Eloda, you like the shot, but at the same time, you got to tip your hat to the goalie, because that was a great save by the goalie.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was almost perfectly executed. I mean, passing-wise, it was perfectly executed by the Mustangs, but Bokovic just made an amazing save, and we saw plenty of those in the Cardinal Gibbons game the other night by the both goalies.
And a fantastic. Jake with a spin move.
Caputo with the spin move.
Looking for a pass.
Gets it over to Tolentino.
Tolentino scores again! Middle Creek have an equalizer.
JJ Tolentino 2 for 2. He's capitalizing on his fantastic playoff run. Jake Caputo has 2 assists now with a great job. Looking left and then passing it behind him on the wheel. That's just a fantastic play. They drew it up, and that's the offense right there, boys.
They definitely worked a lot this week. I can tell they worked a lot on passing this week, because against the Gibbons game, their offense wasn't as much passing as they are. They're definitely passing a lot today in the offense. So we'll see if Graham can capitalize on that momentum and get a face-off win here.
And he still cannot get the clamp. Elder is beating him on the clamp every time.
Drew Elder very good at
Schwartz has to try something to get him. Elder is too quick. And that's also why Middle Creek is trying to be so much quicker on the offensive end, because they're not getting much time at all, because Elder is winning most of the face-offs so far.
Yeah, Goodell has it now over to Elder. And behind the goal to Mitchell Cody. So Cody looks to take his time here, get his offense set in motion here. As Maynard back over the Elder. As Blake Leckie has it. Now back over the Elder. You can definitely hear Middle Creek brought a lot of people here. Student section is loud today. As Drew Leckie takes a shot here, but it's going to be, Drew Elder takes a shot here, and it's going to be off the mark. So it'll still be Lake Norman ball here.
And Elder's shooting more sidearm, which is a little bit more difficult, especially when you're the face-off guy and it's a wet field. So it's gonna throw off the trajectory of the ball.
It also throws off the goal. It can also throw off the goalie a little bit as it's released at a lower angle, and there's especially when you do it from the top, a lot of bodies in front of you from a lower angle. If you can get it through cleanly, it's gonna be hard.
Yeah,
as that shot is blocked off of. Ryder takes the dirt there. Over Ben Lever has it now, bringing it up the field for the Mustangs. Lever takes the shot.
Lever scores! It's a third for Middle Creek, a first for Lever.
Middle Creek takes the lead, takes his first lead of the night on a Benjamin Lever goal, Ben Lever
making Lake Norman pay for not sliding on him. You know, defense there probably should have slid to him and made him force it down low to Caputo. I know that's not, that doesn't sound very good. Let's give it to the best player in the state. But that's where you have to decide. That's why you do the fast break drills. And I guess they thought that Ben Lever wasn't going to make them pay, or their goalie was going to make a save. And
you don't expect your defenseman to do that. Now AJ King is in to take the face off here. So Coach Helota's trying something new here, seeing if King can have any better success here on face-offs.
Yeah, maybe a quicker twitch or just trying something else, because
just seeing if his senior can come up with the big moment.
And Elder with a face-off infraction.
I guess Elder didn't prepare this week for King, as Owen Caputo has it now.
I expect Middle Creek to try and run up the score, because it's a state championship. You want to have as many goals as possible.
Definitely.
As many game lead.
Yeah. That was one thing we did very well last year, is once we held on to a lead, we never let go. And that's something that these kids have.
Oh my God! What a goal!
Oh my goodness!
And look at the angle that he's at for this goal. Sensational. Gets it into the side netting, and Jake Caputo has made it 4 for Middle Creek.
This script of this game has completely flipped over the last 10 minutes or so. It was all Lake Norman for the first 2.5 minutes, but from that point on, it's been all Middle Creek.
Yeah. If you just saw that shot, you would not think he's a right-handed player, but that was his offhand to the opposite side of the goal, putting that top right off the bar. That's an incredible shot. And like I was saying, once we got a hold of the lead, we don't let it go. We never relinquish, foot on the gas, and we just go for the kill.
Middle Creek have got to continue riding this momentum.
And Elder wins it cleanly, but it's knocked away by Tolentino, King picks it up. Shot here by Tolentino is going to be off the mark, so Slate's going to start with it for the Mustangs.
So that was definitely a planned play. AJ King trapping him, because Elder wants to spin back to his right instead of maybe spinning left away from him. He did that with all three where he won him against Graham Schwartz. So AJ King then forcing him backside, and Tolentino, playing body on him and forces a ground ball and gets the Middle Creek the ball on the offensive end after a face-off.
Definitely shows that the Middle Creek staff in this game is definitely actively paying attention and has watched the film, is actively paying attention to what he does and making changes on the fly, not even having to call a timeout, which just shows the communication system he has for the communication the sideline has with the team, as Drew Young has it now for the Mustangs.
Back into Caputo.
So Owen Caputo has it now. Owen Caputo behind the goal to David Baird. Baird over to Tolentino. Tolentino with the shot fake. Back over to Drew Young.
And they're playing it out from deep. It looks like just playing on the outside of the goal, looking for that perfect opportunity to pass it in.
We also have an appearance from freshman Carson Scott. Making an appearance in the state championship game as a freshman is very impressive. So let's see how he does if he gets incorporated in the offense here.
Yeah, it's a great experience for a freshman to come on in a game this big, test his nerves.
So Tolentino on the short stick, looking, he's getting doubled. The pole's getting on him, just whacking him. Possibly a slashing call. The ball gets out of the box, so.
It's going to be a Lake Norman ball. As
Middle Creek was stalling a little bit there, so they had to keep it in the box or take a shot.
And the rain is picked up here.
Yeah, it's a little harder to see from here, but when you see it from the side against the background, it's raining, and it's raining pretty steadily. So, that could definitely affect the course of this game.
Yeah, you're gonna definitely expect to see both teams take more more good passes for themselves, or concentrate, not necessarily take a risk on the pass. Definitely a pass that they know they can get to who they're intending it to get to easily. So we'll see if Lake Norman can. As number 22 has it. Oh, and his shot's going to be way over the goal. Matthew Elder tried to come in and put a step back shot on Ben Lever there, but it's going to be off the goal. It's going to be high off the goal. So
Elder's a senior, and Lever's only a sophomore, but he's doing a great job of forcing him to rotate. And Ben has size on him, so over the top shot on a turnaround with your offhand is not probably the best shot there.
I believe Ben Lever was starting last year for last year's team, and he was a freshman last year. So Ben Lever is definitely a
very talented player.
You definitely know he can hold his own against the best of the best. If he wasn't a freshman, he wouldn't be starting. So you definitely know he can hold his own with the best of the best.
Yeah, absolutely. Ben is fantastic, and he's going to go somewhere very big in college. Believe
Probably
that.
goes up against Owen Caputo every day in practice. Nice save there by Skelton off the shot from Drew Elder.
Kicked it over to Lever, who made a great upfield pass to Jake Caputo.
Jake Caputo has
I think
it
it's
now.
wrapped, going for the
Caputo,
shot.
Oh,
good save
right into the glove of Patalik.
He did well to get a shot away under all that coverage.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting to see if Lake Norman, with 9 seconds to go in the half, tries to actually get a goal. They're going to. They try to get a goal. And they're going to score.
Oh, with 3 seconds left in the
Matthew
quarter.
Elder scores with 3 seconds left in the half to make the score 4-3 Middle Creek.
So to end the 4-0 run by Middle Creek for most of the first quarter, Elder, the senior,
his second goal of the day.
Not giving up on his team with 3 seconds left in the quarter. Gets a goal for him to put it at 3-4. I mean, that was a good play. They ran the fast break. The defender made a good up pass, and the goalie, Bokovic, made a great play. Yeah.
You like to see that as a coach, your play starting all the way back, everybody really getting incorporated, all parts of the field getting incorporated.
Yeah, so there's only 3 seconds left in the first half. Depending on who wins this, Lake Norman playing back, if King wins this, he'll probably rip off a shot, and same for
You'd have to
Lake Norman.
You have to win the face-off right away to get a shot off. And
I don't think anyone has.
So that's the end of the first quarter. We're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Bryce. Over to you, Bryce.
Going into halftime here, Middle Creek has a ton of momentum on their side. They had a 4-1 run there to end the half. And on the other side of the ball, Lake Norman, they got a crucial goal right there at the end. But I mean, they still gotta keep going and need to tighten up on defense. I'm Bryce Harrington. This has been a sideline report. Back to you, Adam.
Thanks, Bryce. So we're going to take a break, and we'll be back at the start of the second quarter. You're watching the Sports Block.
Solid.
For notes.
Welcome back to the Sports Block's coverage of the North Carolina men's lacrosse final between Middle Creek Mustangs and Lake Norman. We're here for the second quarter. Middle Creek leading 4-3. How was that first quarter, guys?
It was pretty crazy. Lake Norman started out with two quick goals, and then Middle Creek responded with 4 goals, and then right with 3 seconds left in the half, Matthew Elder, the leading scorer for the Wildcats, brought the Wildcats within 1. So that's how we stand now with Middle Creek leading 4-3.
Yeah, and Graham Schwartz is now on the wing for the faceoff instead of taking it. A.J. King, who forced a faceoff loss. He crossed before, but no call. So they did call it on Lake Norman, so it will be Middle Creek ball. It looked like he came across early because in lacrosse, if you don't know, you cannot cross the box line before the ball does on a faceoff if you're starting behind it. It's kind of confusing, but the Lake Norman defender did come across, so it will be Middle Creek ball regardless. So Caputo finding Slate.
It's going to be right into the stick of Batal.
Bokovic read that the whole way. Slate went top middle. Maybe if he picked a corner, it was a goal. But a good save off a good play by the Mustangs.
Ryan Schwartz outside, into the inside.
So we definitely see if Lake Norman's looking for an equalizer here, while Middle Creek's looking to have a force Lake Norman to another empty possession here, as number 5, as Chase Tweedy has it now. And at the top of the key, now Travis Maynard has it. Over to Cody, Mitchell Cody here. So behind the goal to Matthew Elder, leading scorer for the Wildcats, and only 2-goal scorer here today. Or actually, the only 2-goal scorer for the Wildcats here today.
The goal is 4-4, but there's a flag on the play.
They're going to call it no good. They're going to say the goal is no good.
I think Garrett Patrick did a good job of pushing number 30, Zipadelli, into the crease. I think that's who that was. Or no.
They
either way, I think, it's a penalty on Patrick. But that is a penalty that Halota is definitely willing to take on, as Garrett Patrick does get a push from behind. 30-second penalty, but it does save a goal for Lake Norman. So, definitely can't be can't be too mad about that. That play from Patrick right there, even though it results in a penalty.
It was like Patrick was beat there, so he took the penalty to avoid the goal. So it's kind of sometimes like you talk about in football, sometimes you got to intentionally pass, interfere, or hold to avoid like the big play and give your defense another chance.
Yeah, we see it all the time in soccer as well. You make a foul to stop a goal from happening. You want to have that gamble, and here they score from here. They do. If not, then it was a good foul.
Yeah.
So Cody has it now to the top to Maynard. So Cody here with the shot, and it's going to be that was Elder here with the shot way above the goal. So that's kind of Elder's despite having 2 goals today for Elder, he's had a couple of shots that have been way high. So it's almost like he's just having his timing wrong. He's holding the ball too long.
Yeah. Well, Harrison Ryder with his large frame.
And it's going to be a goal here for Mitchell Cody to tie it up.
He made that look very easy, just tossing it quickly across the crease and getting a goal. That's something that Middle Creek definitely can't have. They have to have sticks, and that the cross crease pass is definitely the hardest one to complete, and they've done it a couple times now. So that's definitely something Coach Halota is going to have to fix at halftime and work on with the guys.
So we'll see if so now equalize. So all the momentum's with Lake Norman here. So we'll see if the face-off man here, Drew Elder, will capitalize on the momentum here for we'll get another face-off win for the Wildcats.
This is a very, very tight game, tight final here.
Yeah, Lake Norman is winning a lot more face-offs than last year. So J.J. Tolentino will stay on the defensive end now. King trapping his stick and now getting face-off man.
And he's
good closing defense.
Have a timeout here called by Lake Norman. So with 10:06 to go in the second quarter, the score is tied at 4. We'll be right back with the Sports Block.
back. It's the Sports Blocks coverage of the North Carolina Men's Lacrosse Final. 4-4 here between Lake Norman and Middle Creek.
As number 12 now for Brandon Garcia has it. He takes a shot, but there's going to be no save by Skelton here. So Ben Lever now gives it to King. So King's going to bring it all the way up.
And Tolentino will stay back.
It's going to be a timeout called by Middle Creek. So with 9:46 to go in the second quarter, score is tied at 4. Be right back to the Sports Block.
We're back once again after a short break. Still 4-4 here between Lake Norman and Middle Creek High School. It's the Sports Block covering the North Carolina Men's Lacrosse State Championship Final.
As Tolentino's going to, Owen Caputo's going to start with it for the Mustangs. As over to King. So Jimmy Slate has it in the behind the goal now. Back over to Owen Caputo, he's going to get it over to Tolentino. Now David Barrett has it now for the Mustangs. He looks, Tolentino has it. Now Jake Caputo.
Jake has 2 assists on the 4 goals that the Mustangs have so far. And he looks to keep, get that playmaker type of day going, keep it up for him with his 3rd assist.
And he also has an own goal, so he has 1 goal for 2 assists here. And Coach Loda's got to feel good, especially since the 4th of his goals, Owen Caputo hasn't scored, and one of his goals came from his defenseman. Coach Loda's got to feel good because eventually, Owen's going to get going eventually.
Yeah, as he's trying to do so right now, he throws a high pass at Tolentino. That's just a very tough pass to make. And it's ruled a pass, so it will be Lake Norman ball, but nobody's coming to get it. So it gives Middle Creek time to get up, set up, get the subs on.
So Brandon Garcia here is going to start with it for the Wildcats.
And they're forcing an overpass, which is the longest pass to make.
Over to Sean Riley.
It's obviously who they want the ball to have their hands on the ball.
And that pass over to Blake Leckie was almost a little short, as Matthew Oder has it now for the Wildcats, working on Benjamin Lever.
Now Patrick guarding behind the goal to Ryder on D. Number 38, Elijah Nixon, guarded by Tolentino at the top.
So Elijah Nixon has it. Now behind the goal for Tucker Goodell. Goody.
Turns around,
and
gets
this is
a shot away,
off
but
the
it's
stick
saved.
of Skelton here. It's going to be still Lake Norman ball here as Cody's going to start with it.
It's good defense by Patrick, forcing it to be on that one half of the goal. Lever pushing him in the crease.
Yeah,
the goal is waved off. He was in the crease. So
crease violation for here.
Fantastic defense by Ben Lever. AJ King faking it and then getting it up to Lever, who's going to run the fast break again, looking to get it to Caputo.
Yep. And Lever's just going to bypass. Gets it back to Caputo. Brandon Garcia forced Lever to get it back to Caputo.
Now AJ trotting back and getting on the offensive end as Middle Creek was playing 5-on-6 right there. Just a little confusion on the defensive end.
As David Bird has it now for the Mustangs, over to Jimmy Slate. Jimmy Slate over to Drew Young here.
Drew Young has come a long way, at least on the defensive end. I mean, he was a very good defender last year, but this year he's, our Kawhi Leonard, our lockdown defender is Caputo, trying to fake his way inside, throws a little fake, looking for the roll over the shoulder, puts his left hand spin.
Middle Creek take
Man
another
is
lead.
ridiculous.
That was a fantastic goal. Caputo just
stayed with it. He didn't give up. He stayed with it. He's like, he kind of knew he was going to be able to work on him, and eventually he got to where he wanted his shot and capitalized.
Yep, and that's the one thing that's absolutely crazy about him is it makes him so hard to guard because he is just as good with his right hand as he is with his left.
And he's built pretty shifty, so it's not like you can just knock him around because he'll just shift out of you.
Yep, he's tall and he uses his leverage very well too, and he can just throw it and shoot it wherever he wants.
And at the same time, Jacob, who's built like a football player, so he can kind of just tough his way, and you're not going to be able to force him out of anything, which is very good for the Mustangs. As Drew Elder is going to win it again. Drew Elder's had a great day on faceoffs.
Yeah, he's been absolutely dominant in the middle.
As Goodell has it now for the Wildcats, and now was behind the goal with Cody. Now back over to Goodell.
And Garrett Patrick, after that penalty, has not come back in. Chase Young has taken his spot, forces him to roll back in, puts him on the ground.
It's going to be a penalty called here.
They called a penalty. I'm not sure.
It's going to be a number
a hold. So they did call a hold on Young. That's a decent call. There's nothing really to argue there. He did come over the top. I'm always going to think it's clean, but he definitely was a holding call there. So it'll put Middle Creek down, a little unnecessary. So that might result in Patrick getting back in the game once the penalty is over. Oh no, he just came back in the game for man down defense.
Yeah, for man down defense, you definitely want your best defenders in there.
Mm-hmm.
As that pass was tipped by King, but Cody's able to corral it for the Wildcats, as Maynard has it now for the Wildcats. Behind the goal to Elder. So Cody here, so then Maynard. Elder takes a shot, but it's blocked by Ryder. And Ryder's getting up limping, which is not good for the Mustangs, and he's going to go down. He's going to go down, so they call a he's going to try to go down to get the refs to blow the whistle. The refs are going to blow the whistle.
And it doesn't look good. He appears to be in quite a lot of pain.
That hurt his knee very bad. So the score is 4-5 with 5 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first half. We'll be right back with the Sports Block.
And we're back after that short injury break. Seems to be okay. He's walking off now. Remains 5-4 Middle Creek over Lake Norman.
With 5:40 to go in the first half, so
yeah,
he's able to walk off on his own power,
yeah.
but he's definitely limping. So hopefully for the Mustangs, he'll be able to get back in.
Yeah, I know Harrison. He's a tough guy, and then to put him down like that, it had to hurt really bad. I think he took the shot right off the knee.
Yeah, it looked pretty point blank there.
So hopefully he can, ice up at halftime and get back in the game, because I know he wants to be in there so bad.
Yeah,
and that took everything in his will to try and stay up, but he just couldn't.
I can see Coach Thompson there behind the bench, getting looked like a bag of ice for Ryder. So athletic director pitching in to help.
Yeah, he'll just want to ice that up, try and get the pain levels down.
So that means Chase Young will be back in on
And Middle
defense.
Creek is not man down anymore, so it is even strength.
And Chase Young will be back for the, will come in for Ryder here. As Chase Young with good defense there on, number 29, Ethan Horton.
Oh,
and King just jukes a dude.
He dropped him.
Put him on the ground.
Drew Young has it now. Over to Baird. Over to Jimmy Slate, but Slate's not able to corral it. Now AJ's talking a little bit of smack to Mitchell Cody, who King actually dropped there. Kind of getting in his head like, I just juked you. How do you feel about that? As now number 38, Elijah Nixon. Oh, saved it.
And then off
At the post. AJ King has it in the middle to Tolentino.
That's a great catch. And way to control it.
So we're going to have a timeout here by Middle Creek. So 4:24 to go in the first half. Middle Creek leads 5-4. We'll be right back to the sports block.
Welcome back. You're watching the Sports Block's coverage of Lake Norman versus Middle Creek in the North Carolina Men's Lacrosse Final. 5-4 Middle Creek after a Middle Creek timeout.
Yeah, just good defense, and Middle Creek getting saved by the second goalie, the goal post. Lance Skelton doing a good job to shelter that shot to where only the post could save it. So Middle Creek playing good defense there and getting a little lucky. And Owen Caputo stepped up and put the Stangs up 5-4 with a great goal a couple minutes ago.
As Owen Caputo has it now over to Jimmy Slate. Jimmy Slate over to Tommy Weir. And Carson Scott is in again for the Mustangs. As Owen Caputo tries to get into his brother Jake, but they're going to rule out a pass there, so it'll be Lake Norman ball here with 4:01 to go in the first half.
Yeah, brother-to-brother connection, but that was just a very tough pass to make, and especially for Jake to field.
Oh, it's through his legs.
It goes right through the legs of
Sean Riley.
He almost like he didn't make an effort for it. So Middle Creek will have to start great here. Jimmy Slate all the way over to Tolentino, who tries to get it inside the David Baird. They're gonna say Baird wasn't able to save it.
That was really close.
Missed opportunity.
I think it just has to touch the line for it to be considered out.
Missed opportunity there for the Mustangs. So Tolentino was wide open right in front of the goal.
Chance for Lake Norman to
There's
push up.
number 19, Isaac Kaufman has it now. Kaufman has it now for the Wildcats. Elder over to Cody. Back over to Goodell. Goodell over to Blecky. Elder back to Cody. Maynard. Over the younger Elder. Back to the younger Elder here. As Lecky has it at the top of the key. To the top. Matthew Elder.
Lecky across.
This is going to be blocked away. And Drew Young.
And a great pass by Garrett Patrick.
And Garrett Patrick is just passed a little too far for Ben Lever. So Lake Norman's going to come up with it. Middle Creek's made a couple. Is kind of a little sloppy over the last couple minutes or so.
Yeah, Elder keeps looking for that cross crease pass. Middle Creek definitely has to stop and make sure they take that away because that is a very easy goal. Garrett Patrick with an ambitious pass to Ben Lever. And just got tipped away, and they couldn't get to it before Lake Norman could, so now they get the ball back.
It's good passing here from Lake Norman.
Yeah, they're just working around trying to set up their offense. There's 2 minutes left in the first half, so they're going to try and even it up at halftime. That's for sure. So they're probably going to try and run the clock as much as they can.
Yes, definitely.
They're probably run the clock as much as you can, but if you have an open shot, take it.
That one goal going into halftime could be all the difference. You go into halftime equal or a goal down, your team talk's going to be very different. Your strategy is going to be very different.
Over to Elder as Maynard has it. Maynard over to Elder. Elder tries to get inside, but his pass is going to be behind. Miscommunication here is going to be behind the intended target of Elder, and he's just.
That's a push.
Elder's going to push over.
Garrett Patrick just got pushed, but JJ Tolentino makes a great play, scooping up the ground ball.
We're going to have to watch that the rest
to
of the
Owen.
day. Owen
and he
right
shoots it
right into the goalie.
Right to the chest of the goalkeeper.
Owen's not going to miss that very often, as Owen almost gets the steal there.
That is a chance for Lake Norman here. Good save.
Good save by Lance Skelton.
As Owen Caputo's going to come up with it. Owen long pass down to Jake Caputo. Jake Caputo.
Moving on the outside very well. Breaks two.
Over to Jimmy Slate. Great pass there by Jake Caputo to Jimmy Slate.
And an even better catch and finish by Jimmy Slate, catching and finishing that basically with one hand on his left hand.
Mid-air as well.
Got to give a shout out to Mama Slate. She'll watch the game afterwards. I know she's very happy for Jimmy there. Scoring in his senior year state championship game. So that's awesome.
It was a great goal as well. Excellent pass from Jake Caputo to find his teammate, and he's finished that perfectly.
Yep, and it all started with the best player in the state, Owen Caputo, finding Jake, exactly. Just moved it down, weaved through everybody. That's great. So now AJ King is taking the face off. It's Graham Schwartz and Drew Young on the wings.
As Elder is just absolutely dominating everybody today as Graham knocks it away. He's going to go out of bounds. They're going to say it's Lake Norman ball, as it was knocked away off of as Graham Schwartz knocked it out of bounds. So we'll see if Middle Creek can hold a goal here. And this pass is just from Elder over to Mitchell Cody is just off the top of his stick. So this is going to be Middle Creek's ball here.
And Harrison Ryder is back in the game.
That's good to see for the Mustangs.
And needs to make sure he's got his head on a swivel because that easily could have been another goal for Lake Norman on that cross crease pass.
And you got to think they're going to come at him. They're going to test that knee to see if he's actually has a good mobility. As Garrett Patrick has it knocked away from him, but Ben Lever is going to come back up with it. He gets it over to Drew Young. They're going to call
failure to advance. So Middle Creek did not get the ball over in time.
So it'll be Lake Norman ball here with under 15 seconds to go in the half.
With 10 seconds to go in the half, Lake Norman calls a timeout, down 4-6 against the Middle Creek Mustangs. We will be right back with the Sports Block.
Seconds left in this first half. Middle Creek 6, Lake Norman 4.
Yeah, Lake Norman looking to get the momentum going in the halftime, try to get a late goal to cut the deficit to 1. While Middle Creek is looking to keep Lake Norman from scoring to keep it a 2-goal lead going into halftime, going into the second half.
Yeah, Lake Norman got an extra 4 seconds on that called timeout as A.J. King is going to start guarding Blake Leckie.
As Matthew Elder has it now. Matthew Elder over to Goodell.
Drew Elder with
Drew Elder with the shot.
What a goal that is from distance.
That's
Make it 6-5.
That's a fantastic shot by Elder, shooting around Tolentino, who's not a small guy. JJ is a
that's Drew Elder's second goal of the
plus.
game.
I mean, that's a fantastic shot. Shooting around him with a short stick, putting it in a corner.
That's exactly what Lake Norman wants going into halftime.
So now number 58, Luke Crone taking the face-off for Lake Norman, and A.J. King taking it off for the Mustangs.
We're going to switch it up a little.
Interesting here. That's him taking it here. I guess Lake Norman doesn't expect to have a chance at the end of the half. As King has it, and that's going to be the end of the half.
So Middle Creek is up 6-5 over Lake Norman at the end of the first half. I'm going to send it down to our sideline reporter, Bryce. Bryce, how's it going?
So at the end of the second quarter, the score is 6-5, and we've had a really close game. Both teams going back and forth. Some keys for the game. I mean, Lake Norman, they really got to use that man-up play more effectively. They're 0 for 2 so far in it, and bring that momentum from that last goal there before halftime. A key for Middle Creek is to keep on running that counterattack. The counterattack has worked really well for Middle Creek so far. They got 2 goals off of that. That's all for me. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Bryce. So, again, your halftime score is Middle Creek 6, Lake Norman 5. We'll be back at the start of the second half. You're watching the Sports Block. Welcome back to the Sports Block as we're back for the start of the second half as Middle Creek leads 6-5 as the Middle Creek players come out of the tunnel. As the goalies did stay on the field to stay warm during the break, but the rest of the team went into the locker room.
Yeah, Coach Alota definitely went in there and talked to the defense, made sure they got to sure up some things. Offense, he just wants them to keep their foot on the throttle and, put up about 10 more this half to definitely secure his second state championship in 3 years as head coach of the Mustangs. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty impressive to have.
That is
second in 2 years, really. Cause
yeah, back-to-back state champions, 2 in 3 years. That's very impressive, and he's an extremely good coach, taking us from where Coach Robinson left us off, Eastern semis, or Eastern runner-up to, we did take a step back. We only made it to the East semis.
His first year?
Yeah, his first year. We lost to Hoggard in the Eastern semis, so then Hoggard lost to Cardinal Gibbons, who then went on to win the state championship, to then last year obviously beating Cardinal Gibbons in the Eastern finals and winning the state championship last year.
As we get ready for the face-off, it looks like it's going to be a
Drew Elder and AJ King again. So it looks like that's going to probably be our combination on face-offs for the rest of the game. So it should be a good one down the stretch. As Elder is going to come out victorious on that one,
and he has
as he gets it to Goodell.
Yeah, Elder's been doing a very good job. He's extremely quick on the clamp and gets it off. King just using his hockey background to try and trap his stick and force him to slow up on the get-off, but Elders have been too dominant on the face-offs all day.
As Cody hasn't. Maynard hasn't now. Now over to Goodell. Goodell tries to go inside, take a shot, and scores and tie this game up.
6-6.
That's incredible. Incredible work by Goodell there to just weave through a poke check from Garrett Patrick to then slip through 2 other defenders and then put a backhanded goal in past Lance Skelton. That's very good offense by Goodell, and Middle Creek definitely wants to shore up that defense and definitely do what Coach told him to do at halftime, because I know it was not that. So
definitely.
Now Graham Schwartz is going to be back on the face-offs.
Yes, so Coach Lewis just seems like he's going to see if Graham can give him another shot, last year's MVP. As Schwartz almost wins it, but it wasn't able to pick up the ball. As Tolentino comes in, and I guess it was just kind of almost like a scrum. AJ King's going to end up with it. So Middle Creek ended up getting the ball on that face-off, not directly cleanly, but still did. So Owen Caputo has it. Owen Caputo has a fake shot. There's going to be a penalty called here. Stick to the head. So
we're going to get a slashing call on number 12, Brandon Garcia, and that's the defender who's been on Caputo most of the day. Obviously, that's got to be their best defender because Owen Caputo is the best player in the state. You're going to put your best guy on him. So
exactly.
That's definitely going to hurt the Wildcats, and hopefully this extra man offense for the Mustangs can capitalize on the 1 minute penalty.
Definitely. You got to think everybody in the offense now has a better matchup. Just with everybody on their Lake Norman's defense having to defend 1 man up now, so I think all the offensive players have an advantage.
Good movement.
As Jake Caputo has it now. Tries to drive inside, but it's stopped by Bavalik.
Bokovic doing a good job not biting on the high fake. Middle Creek definitely needs to throw different height fakes because they're just shooting high, and he stopped them a couple times now on just the high shot. So maybe high to low, low to high, high to mid even, to definitely put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, he stands his ground. He lets his reactions do the work, and he's got excellent reactions, as we've seen. So shooting in the same place over and over is clearly not going to work for Middle Creek.
Middle Creek still has a man-up defense right now, so they can sub at will. They get A.J. King back on for Graham Schwartz.
As Benjamin Lever and Harrison Ryder, the other long sticks, in for the Mustangs, and the man-up advantage is now done. So even on. It's going to be even here for both teams, barring another penalty. As Benjamin Lever almost gets a stick in front of that that pass from Maynard to Elder. As Maynard rushes the shot.
It's a great save by Lance Skelton. Garrett Patrick just can't seem to get his hand on the ground ball, so
can't control it.
Lake Norman gets it
back.
He
knocks it away.
And the ball on this wet surface is going to kind of skip rather than just bounce like normal, so we did well to get in front of that, the goalkeeper.
Great reaction to flip the stick in front of that on the low shot. It's a great save, and unfortunately, Middle Creek just couldn't capitalize on the ground ball.
So Cody has it now behind the goal. Now Goodell has it. Goodell working on Patrick. He gets it over to Blake Leckie, who scores to give Lake Norman a 7-6 lead of 8:45 to go in the third quarter.
That was a poorly executed double by Patrick and Caputo. Patrick slipped behind Caputo, and Jake pushed him out and left his man wide open. Lance Skelton was there. He just put it right under his stick to the left. And Lake Norman has reclaimed their first lead of the game since they were up 2-0 early in the first quarter.
Yeah, and we saw that early in the first quarter. They got 2 quick goals. Early in the third quarter, the second half, they get 2 quick goals. So Middle Creek really just need to work on coming out of their breaks, firing.
So Graham Schwartz is going to be called for is going to jump. No, they're going to say Drew Elder jumped. Well, one of the refs is going to say Drew Elder jumped. The other's saying Graham Schwartz jumped. So they're going to have a discussion here to determine who jumped. At that point, if they can't agree, and they're going to say Drew Elder jumped here, so it's going to be Middle Creek ball.
Yeah, Elder does a very good job of getting a jump on the ball, and that's why he's so quick with the clamp. And sometimes it pays off, and other times it doesn't, as you can see right there.
I personally didn't see Drew Elder on that play. I thought I saw Graham jump, but I didn't see Drew Elder at the same time, so I'll have to trust that the refs made the right decision there.
Yeah, it looked like they both had somewhat of a jump.
I did see Graham jump, but I didn't see. I wasn't paying attention to Elder, so I cannot attest to both. As Owen Caputo has it at the top of the key. I mean, not at the top. And Owen Caputo scores to tie up the game. He's when you need a goal, Owen Caputo is the man you call if you're Middle Creek.
He is the best in the state, and he's showing it here. Great goal.
Low angle bounce shot hit right in front of the goalie's feet and bounced straight up between his legs. Yeah. I mean, that is an incredible shot, and the bounce it took. It went off the ground and went straight up into the top of the net. That's an incredible shot, especially from such a low angle.
Definitely.
So Owen Caputo evens it up 7-7 with 8:10 left in the third quarter. And Graham Schwartz is on the draw with AJ King and Drew Young on the wings.
Yeah, Owen Caputo seems this is the man you're going to call if you need a goal. It seemed like against Gibbons when Middle Creek was down 2-0. Owen Caputo got it started for the Mustangs as Drew Elder here is going to win it again for the faceoff again as Cody has it now for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he's been Lake Norman's MVP so far, in my opinion. He's won 80% of the faceoffs, I think, as Harrison Ryder's playing very good defense on Cody right now.
Yeah, if Lake Norman wins this game, granted we have a long way to go, but if Lake Norman wins this game, I would bet money that would be Drew Elder right now, but still a ways to go, and somebody else for Lake Norman could have a huge second half, but we have a long way to go to that point. Yeah, and you can tell the Middle Creek fans do not like Drew Elder here. They do not like Drew Elder, and the Lake Norman fans are getting in it too, so definitely going to be a chippy game from here on out.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Both of these guys are both very good at faceoffs, Elder and Schwartz. As Skelton makes another great save. But the two faceoff guys don't get off the field like a normal Fogo would, so, you know, hats off to them for being very good at everything.
AJ King gets it over to Ben Lever. Good job there by Lever. It wasn't a great pass. He couldn't get it right away, so he bounced it off his chest as Owen Caputo loses it. But AJ King is going to easily scoop it up from the Mustangs, and Owen Caputo's score is just right at the goal. Just right.
Good job by Jimmy Slate to hustle back to behind the goal to get the ball and keep it in Mustang hands.
Yeah, Owen's not going to miss many of those goals. He's not going to miss. He doesn't miss that often.
So Jake Caputo at the top off of a pick by J.J. Tolentino. That play worked earlier in the day, but from the other side, putting J.J. on a lower angle.
So see if they I like that Middle Creek's trying to.
They're on the crease.
Oh,
JJ's wide open.
Yeah, Jake didn't see him. It's kind of like in the Gibbons game when fast break, AJ King passed it over to David Baird, and Baird didn't see King was wide open. So an Owen Caputo loses the ball. Hits it back. Gets it to Jimmy Slate to take. So Middle Creek retakes the lead. Jimmy Slate's second goal of the day.
Now, great job by Jimmy. Quick sticking that goal in, but wow, what a pass by Owen Caputo. He just rifled that thing in there. Great. I mean, that was on a line, no drop or anything to it. And Jimmy, with the concentration and strength in his arms to reel in that really fast pass and put it in the goal and reclaim the lead for the Mustangs is great.
He's right across the crease there, as you said. To find the back of the net with that was perfect. He can't miss from there.
Yeah. So Schwartz again on the face-off.
And Schwartz almost wins it, but Elder ends up victorious.
Elder does the same thing on every face-off, and it's just up to the Mustangs to figure out a way to do it.
And number 7, Mitchell Cody is going to score for the
right there.
for the Wildcats as the Wildcats tie it up.
This is like watching a game of ping pong. One thing happens over there, and just a few seconds later, on the other end of the field, you'll see something. 2 quick goals coming for opposite sides.
And that's Cody's second goal of the game.
Elder is doing a fantastic job on the face-offs, and this right wing, or wherever Jake Caputo is right now, he spins it away, and the man runs upfield. So if they try and trap Elder, he can just quickly fire off the pass and get it open. If I was Graham Schwartz, I'd sit at the bottom of the box and hope for get back on defense so you can cover that, and maybe Jake could potentially block off Elder as he's going to spin to the right here and get it off.
Elder
he spins the same way every time.
It seems to work for him.
Yep, because he's so quick at the clamp, he can get it off.
So Goodell has it now over to Cody. Cody has it now behind the goal for the Wildcats. So Matthew Elder now over to Liza Nixon.
Patrick now is on Goodell.
Goodell has it now back behind the goal to Chase Tweedy. Chase Tweedy.
Drew Young playing excellent defense on him, not giving up a lick. It was a little bit of a ward, but not enough to call. Sticks got in there.
It's going to be Lake Norman ball still.
Now Matthew Elder is going to bring this one in and get it in the hands of their best player. Ironically, both of them are 22 for both teams. Lever's trying to get in there, but needs to get a stick out so he doesn't get called for a hold.
As AJ King has it, he has a great speed over to David Baird.
Baird touches it in the box.
So we'll see Baird back out to Drew Young. Drew Young over to Jake Caputo. Owen Caputo calling for the ball. And Jake didn't see that or didn't like the pass. Jake takes the shot. It's just off the great save there by Bokovic, standing right in there and taking it. But Middle Creek definitely needs to mix up the shot selection. They've shot it at Bokovic a couple times now, and he's not a ghost. That's not going to go right through him, no matter how fast you shoot it. As Owen Caputo has it now, you don't want to let Owen get a good step on you because he will capitalize, and they're almost double teaming him.
Lake Norman's pulling the crease defender to double Owen down low on those edges.
It almost looks like to a sense like on the outside. They were playing almost like a man double. It seems like they're obviously the man that's supposed to do it, and then somebody else comes and helps as well for the guys on the wing. As Jake Caputo has it now. Over to Owen Caputo. Owen Caputo with the fake pass over to Jake.
And now they have a short stick on Owen, so
Owen breaks a shot and great save by Bokovic there for the Wildcats. That's a great save as
I know Owen wanted that one really bad. He had a great step and shook the defender Probably could have put that top left with ease, but he shot it, top or right, where it was easier, safe for Bokovic. Now Jake finding Drew Young at the top.
Owen's not going to miss that shot very often. As Drew Young has it. Now Owen Caputo has it. Owen Caputo feels like he's on the verge of absolutely lighting this game up.
He keeps the ball.
And draws the penalty.
So
Drew the penalty, had to go for the shot.
Middle Creek will have a man up here as Tolentino and Schwartz will come in on offense as Drew Young will exit offensively for the Mustangs.
And I know how bad Owen wants to be the hero of this game, senior and, all the accolades he has and where he's going in the future, but he wants to win with this team right now. These are the guys he's been working with for the past 4 years, so he definitely wants to be the hero and wants to show everybody that, hey, I can do this and I can do it better than everybody else can, and put the Stangs back on top.
I don't think he has to show. I think his work so far through his career has shown that. As speaking of him, he has it now. Over the Baird, behind the goal to Jimmy Slate. Jimmy's inside to J.J. Tolentino with his 3rd goal of the game. Great pass from Jimmy Slate.
Jimmy Slate, Gary Payton, that was a dime right there. J.J. Tolentino taking it and dunking that thing home, man.
Jimmy Slate's having a great day. Assist, 2 goals. He's having himself a great day.
And this has been in the game where Middle Creek seemed the most vulnerable. After they just get a goal, they seem to let the attack invite the pressure onto them a bit too much. Middle Creek are going to have to be very careful here, hopefully to win the face-off with A.J. King. But if they don't, they're going to have to be very careful not to concede, and they want to try and double this lead.
Yeah, definitely. You can see now that Drew Young on the opposite side of where JJ is on the other wing. Drew's getting back on defense. JJ was telling him to get back, but Drew knows what he's doing. He's getting back to make sure that Elder doesn't get a fast break, and JJ can lock number 10.
Yes. Elder again.
And Elder not completing the full rotation.
But Lake Norman still
winning the face-off.
Yeah, still ends up with the ball, so not what he's been doing, but still works out for him. As Goodell has it now. Goodell over to Cody here, behind the goal.
King on the wing. Guarding Tweedy. Lever locking Matthew Elder, more or less. Now Ryder behind the goal.
Following Cody here. Ryder not letting Cody get inside on him for forcing Cody to the outside. And Cody Cody tries to drop it off to tried to drop it off to Lecky, but the pass wasn't good enough. Ben Lever has it now. Over to Owen Caputo. Owen Caputo loses it for a second. Still has it. Owen Caputo hit the head, and he still almost scores. Middle Creek's going to have another man-up advantage.
The fact that Caputo kept the ball that entire time, he was under attack over there on the left wing.
That's incredible to get the shot off with the left hand and almost put it bottom right corner as he's getting hit in the head and hit from behind. That's an incredible play by Owen, and now number 12, Brandon Garcia is going to be back in the box.
Yeah. Normally you'd think he would coach would pull him out of the game, but he's your best defender, and when you're playing a guy like Owen Caputo, you just can't afford that when he's able to come back in. You can't afford to not have a dude like that on the field. Yeah,
Garcia, a senior, normally plays long stick midi, but he's playing defense on Caputo because, Owen's the shiftiest player, best scorer on the team, so, you can say he's best defender on the best player.
Yeah, you can say whatever about Owen. Oh, he's the best no matter what, he's the best offensive player, and then Garcia's the best defensive player for Lake Norman, so obviously you want your best defensive player on the best offensive player.
Shot it just over there.
Caputo with a sidearm left-handed shot just goes right over the goal.
So Owen Caputo's going to start with it with 59 seconds to go in the third quarter.
No. Owen has it behind the goal. Looking for somebody. The man-up advantage is gone.
And Tolentino tries to fire a shot in low. It's going to be no good. The man-up advantage is gone. Oh, it's still in.
Caputo saved it.
Jimmy Slade gets it back over to Owen Caputo. Interesting here that now even though the man-up advantage is gone, Christian Neal is playing on Caputo.
Caputo gets it away, but it's deflected.
The
So
man-up.
23 seconds
And that will
left.
be Lake Norman ball because they were the closest to it. And good hustle by those guys to get the possession away from the Mustangs late in the quarter. Middle Creek definitely can't give up a late goal like they did in the first half.
Yeah, they don't want to do that. They don't want to give Lake
And
Norman.
AJ King.
Nice stick, but nice check.
Oh.
They're gonna call AJ for a slash here.
I'm not sure
I don't know about that call.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not sure about that at all.
It's because I think they called it because the stick came across the guy's head, but it looked like it made clear contact.
Yeah, it did make clear contact.
It looked like it made clear contact with the stick. And the Creek Crazies are obviously not happy about that, and me personally, I don't, even if it was going either way, I don't think that's a good call. That was all stick to me. It's a great slap check, and now AJ King is going to be out for a minute and 52 seconds in the fourth quarter, which is big. It will also mean that Lake Norman, assuming they have possession here at the end of the third quarter, will start the fourth quarter with possession of the ball without having a face-off.
Yeah, and that means,
So we may see a shot here, or they're just going to hold it for 5 seconds to retain possession and start the fourth quarter.
And that's what they're going to do.
So that looks like what they're going to do. So Middle Creek is up 8-9 or 9-8 at the end of the third quarter. We're going down to our sideline reporter, Bryce. Bryce, what do you got?
We've just finished up the third quarter here, and the score is 9-8, Middle Creek lead. It looks like this game's going to come down to the wire, back and forth from both teams, and we should be in for a very interesting fourth quarter. I'm Bryce Sarrington. This has been a Sideline Report. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bryce. As he said, the score is 9-8 at the end of the third quarter. We'll be right back with the sports block.
Welcome back to the Sports Block's broadcast of the North Carolina Men's Lacrosse Final, 9-8 for Middle Creek. It's the fourth quarter here. What do you guys think about this game so far?
Middle Creek has played well, but they've given up a lot of fast break goals. Owen Caputo has done a good job finding teammates, as well as Jimmy Slate and Jake Caputo. JJ Tolentino has been very effective on the offensive end. We need to see Middle Creek shore up this defense, especially with this man down after AJ King got a penalty with 8 seconds left in the third quarter.
Lake Norman's definitely doing a good job of taking advantage of when Middle Creek has looked confused defensively.
Elder's been a big influence on them, getting a lot of fast breaks off of face-offs.
Yeah, and as Middle Creek will is still booing the and this is going to be a goal here by number 7, Mitchell Cody. Will start the fourth quarter to tie the game up.
And that has been Middle Creek's Achilles heel. Exactly. These low cross-crease goals, they've given up 3 or 4 of them, I think, now. And it is something that in man down or normal defense that they have given up either, whether he's cutting from X or he's just sitting there on a slow cut from the wing. The defense has to keep their heads on a swivel and pay attention as Matthew Elder is hyping up his fans, his crowd after tying that game up. Make it 9-9.
Yeah, Mitchell Cody is, that was his third goal of the day. That was his third goal of the day, and he scored the last 2 goals for Lake Norman.
We're level, 11 minutes and 33 seconds left in regular time.
Should be a good one. As, again, Elder wins the face-off here, and his pass is going to be high. As the Elders pass is going to be high there, so Middle Creek, it'll be Middle Creek's ball there.
Middle Creek needs to capitalize on these. AJ King with a good overpass to Harrison Ryder.
Gets it over to Ben Lever, as Matthew Elder almost got the shot. So we're going to have a timeout here by Middle Creek. So with 11:15 to go in the game, the score is tied at 9. We'll be right back to the sports block.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It is the 4th quarter of the men's high school lacrosse championship game. It's the Middle Creek Mustangs and Lake Norman Wildcats are tied at 9 with 11:15 to go. It has been a very back-and-forth game so far with great scoring from both teams. Captains, seniors playing their last games, leaving it out all on the field. I'm very excited to see how the rest of this 4th quarter goes down, and hopefully it's a good one. It ends in Middle Creek getting second state championship in 2 years. 44 straight wins. I mean, regardless, I'm proud of these boys, and they've busted their butts to get where they are, both teams.
Being a senior broadcasting, it would be great to go out on a bang with a state championship, and I can only know that the seniors on our team, the team want it more, especially Owen. He's in my English class, and I can just tell he wants another state championship.
Yeah, I mean, it's so close this game has been since the very beginning, the first face-off, and there's really no calling it yet with just under 11 minutes left to play. You cannot call it yet. 9-9. This could go anyway.
There's Jake Caputo. Caputo has it now. Owen Caputo has it. Pass fake back to his brother.
He'll look for a shot or a pass.
Gets it over to to Schwartz. Jake Caputo has it now.
Jake might have been able to get off a left-handed shot, but he was looking for a better look. Finds Jimmy.
Finds the goal for Jimmy Slade in the top left corner.
Jimmy Slade with a hat trick. Oh my goodness, he is having himself a game. Go off, Jimmy Slade. We are all rooting for you. His mom's actually crying. I can see her right now. She's so happy. She's crying in the stand. I'm so proud of him. He's going off this game. 3 goals. Puts the Middle Creek Mustangs up 9-10. I mean, what more can you say? That was a perfectly executed play, and Jimmy putting it top left to finish it off is fantastic.
That's what you call a player in his last game, just leaving it all on the line.
AJ King taking the face off and just waiting for Matthew Elder to hit it backwards. That's what they're going to try and do, funnel him backwards, because they have been no stopping Matthew Elder today on the face-offs.
Yeah, that's definitely a good strategy. If you can't beat him, find a way to counteract it. If you can't beat him on the actual face-off, find a way to counteract it.
Yeah, Middle Creek has given up many fast break goals off of face-offs. I think maybe 4 or 5 of the 9 that the Wildcats have come off of fast break face-off goals.
I mean, you don't have to go much further than the little start of the game. With he won the opening face-off and scored 5 seconds in.
I mean, it was a
this shot is wide.
And Ryder just
right
fell asleep on
Mitchell
defense.
Cody.
Ryder fell asleep on defense right there and just left his man wide open. And
Middle Creek is lucky there.
yeah, luckily Cody didn't make him pay, but Lance Skelton he scared him off for that one.
Yeah, Skelton had taken was hogging the near post. He wasn't in. So if Cody's pass shot's a little bit to the left, that's a goal there. As this long pass over to Lever. Lever gets it, tries to get over the Jacob Caputo, doesn't get it cleanly. I mean, over the Schwartz, doesn't get it cleanly, but gets it. Now Jimmy Slate.
Owen Caputo open, they find him.
Over to Owen Caputo.
I would anticipate later in this corner that number 12, Garcia, tries to start locking Caputo so he can't even make plays or, hold the ball.
But at the same time, it's kind of like if it comes down to it and you want one dude to have the ball, I would almost, as much as Owen's the best player on the team, I would want it in Slate's hand for the way that he's had a game today.
David Baird with a good split dodge to a step to a
great
shot.
Run. It is,
he puts it bottom left and a great save.
By Vovit.
Tolentino and Baird hustling, trying to stop the fast break. Watch the cross crease, Harrison. Little coaching right there, sorry.
Yeah. it's understandable. We'd probably I'd probably do the same thing if I was was in your position too. I'd probably do the same thing. I still do it, yelling at the TV a lot anyways, so.
Yeah, I think it's just a human thing,
sports fans do it all the time.
Yep, so. But good job by the Mustangs stopping the fast break there. Now the Wildcats subbing on, of course, trying to get their correct personnel in there. Cody gets a step on Ryder as he knocks over the screen guy, but no penalty.
He just passed the shot by Cody. It's just going to be wide of the goal. It's still going to be a Wildcat ball here. It's still going to be Wildcat ball.
I think Elder's trying to get off the field. He probably needs some water after all. He's been playing most of the game.
Yeah, I've only seen him come off once, and whenever he's been on the field, he's been doing quite a lot of work.
So Middle Creek's got to play lockdown defense here.
Watch for a cut from Elder because he's playing so far out. He's trying to lull Baird to sleep, so David's got to keep his head on a swivel and make sure there's not a cut from him.
That's a great turn.
That shot was wide for a second. I thought that was in. Good move there by Maynard there, as Matthew Elder has it behind the goal.
A good double there.
Elder was just in bad position there. He kind of got himself in a bad position. They're gonna call this
no-call push.
Middle Creek ball.
No, AJ King running it up the field.
King's running all the way up the field.
It looked like Baird was pushed there, but no call, and Middle Creek does retain possession. So that's a positive. And King got the ball up using the great speed to push it up there and keep it on the offensive end. Now Schwartz has it over to Caputo, guarded by Garcia. Owen has a lane, and it gets tipped away.
9-10 here, 6.5 minutes left.
So Middle Creek has it in the hands of the man they want, but he completes a pass to Leckie. Now Leckie guarded by Tolentino. Shift dodge. Now Elder taking it up on Lever, looking for a right-handed shot. He's going to pass it over to number 6, Dreon guarding that, forcing it down to X. Cody guarded by Harrison Ryder.
Slow but calculated attack.
Screen left, he flops.
Yeah, one big
Put
thing.
it down.
Shot! Oh, it's just wide.
Elder missed that one. Adam Ireland has left us to go on the sideline. We are joined now by Bryce Herring.
Yep, and while down on the sideline, they really keyed in during that timeout. They said we got to focus on number 7. He's doing a lot of work, and it seemed to be working pretty well so far with a great save there by Lance.
Middle Creek does need to do a little more work on these ground balls. Lance is making good saves, and they've capitalized on a couple of them, but sometimes Lake Norman picks up the ground ball and puts it right back in, and that's how they've scored 2 of the other goals. And good defense by AJ King there, forcing him out of the play.
Just over 5 minutes left.
Middle
in
Creek
the
playing
fourth
really
quarter.
good defense here. I mean, they're really slowing them down here.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're just letting Lake Norman pass the ball around as much as they want. And as long as they're not getting a shot away, Middle Creek seems content with it. They'll let them hold possession as long as they hold that 1-goal lead.
Definitely, with that 1-goal lead, I mean, you could just run that clock out. They're definitely trying to slow the game down here. And
here's an
looking for a big
opportunity.
stop here.
It looks like he's just saved it there, the goalkeeper.
Ben Lever doing a fantastic job being the closest person to the ball and getting Mustangs possession, because they know if Lake Norman's going to get possession, they're going to get it right back, and they're going to run the clock down as much as they can.
Yeah, that's a really big play there by Ben Lever. You can tick off at least a minute here if you good play, and it's tossed away.
And Lance Skelton with a iffy throw to Caputo. A.J. King playing a little aggressive and getting lucky there. Now over to Cody.
They're going to reset the defense here.
Yeah, passing it over to the younger Elder. Guarded by Jake Caputo.
Boos ring around the stadium. It's Drew Elder.
Drew Elder guarded by Jake Caputo at X, looking for somebody to pass the ball to. Caputo falls down. Elder misses the shot wide right. Lance Skelton in good position to force a bad shot. Caputo just lost his footing on the wet ground.
Lake Norman not passing the ball as much here. Definitely trying to work something around the back of the goal and cut in. Not really looking for a pass through the middle, Aggie.
Exactly.
So now Cody is guarded by Jake Caputo. Cody's been guarded by Harrison Ryder most of the day. And a great save off the helmet by Lance Skelton. Graham Schwartz hustling to it, trying to get the ground ball. Gets double teamed and kind of pushed out of the way.
Be shoved out.
And a timeout is called as soon as he loses possession by the Lake Norman coach. With 3 minutes and 51 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The score is 10-9, Middle Creek on top. We'll be right back with the Sports Block.
Tap me when we're in. That was a solid win.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the fourth quarter of the men's high school, North Carolina High School Lacrosse State Championship. The score is 10-9. Middle Creek Mustangs on top of Lake Norman with 3 minutes and 51 seconds remaining in the game. Lake Norman had a timeout called right at the as the player was about to go out of bounds to lose possession. Great timeout called. Middle Creek's Lance Skelton has been playing absolutely fantastic late in this game, making a bunch of crucial saves, and Middle Creek just cannot quite seem to get it back on the offensive end to try and run the timeout.
Well, he's definitely showing why he should be in goal at this time. 3 minutes and 47 seconds left with 1 goal in it. You need every single player to be top of the line.
Oh, yeah, and the whole defense is doing a great job. They're really, really stopping him from taking shots.
It's 10-10, and Lake Norman have sent it through the legs of the goalkeeper, and it's 10-10.
Yeah, Ben Lever screened off the right half of the goal, and Lance Skelton I think he just lost it and didn't get a stick down far enough, and that's one of the few times that Drew Young has been beat on defense at all this season, to be honest. He's been playing fantastic defense all year, and I think he slipped maybe or got caught off guard by Leckie, but the senior for Lake Norman does a great job evening the score with 3 minutes and 38 seconds.
Same goal there. I mean, they really needed that goal to keep it equal, to equalize, but geez, really, Really good play there by
Lake Norman coming forward again. Middle Creek need to find some momentum.
They've got to slow this counterattack down. Off the face-off, Lake Norman has been very effective.
Yep. They have not been able to slow down Drew Elder at all this game.
He has been on fire for his team.
The speed off now on that face-off is just really tough to handle. Middle Creek has slowed it down here. They're looking to get the ball back with around 2 minutes left. That's enough time to work it.
And now Harrison Ryder is back on Mitchell Cody, which has been the matchup most of the game. Now Ben Lever still guarding Matthew Elder, trying to get a screen from number 6, Maynard.
It's across the crease, and it's in. Lake Norman taking 11-10 lead.
And that's been the Mustangs' kryptonite all game. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The cross crease has killed them. And I know Coach Loda is not happy with his team right now because they've been beaten by the cross crease. And it is a very hard pass, but very rewarding. And we've been able to do it. They've been able to do it. And now Lake Norman has taken an 11-10 lead. Their second lead of or third lead of the game, excuse me.
Middle Creek still have time here, just under 3 minutes left to score 1 goal, but they haven't had any attacking momentum going, it seems, in this entire fourth quarter. They just haven't been able to get up the field.
And it seems like they really need to win this face-off here. It's a must-have here because you don't want them trying to run the clock down. They need some offensive presence going.
Yeah, they need to be able to win a face-off, and Drew Elder has not let up on these face-offs. He's won almost every face-off, even though Schwartz slowed him up there for a little while. But Lake Norman may try to run the clock out now. I'm not sure what their strategy is, but now it's just Cody passing it around the back. Now they're moving it upfield, getting it to Chase Tweedy.
Clock ticking down with 2 minutes and 30 seconds right now, and they're really not looking for a shot right here, Lake Norman.
Caputo falling on defense. A great save by Skelton. He's coming out of the goal, clamping it, pushing it down.
Have to go back.
Jay Caputo picking up the ground ball and losing it. Harrison Ryder, cross crease, and
it's
dunked
another.
it.
Lake Norman have a 2-goal lead with 2 minutes left, and they have come alive in this late game.
3 unanswered goals from Lake Norman, and that's tough on Middle Creek. They really need to get something going offensively. If they don't get a goal going soon, Lake Norman could see this out.
Middle Creek does need to get a face-off win of some sort. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I mean, Jay Caputo had the ground ball, and Skelton, very tough, you know, maybe made a mistake trying to come out there and trying to flip it away with his goalie stick. He should have just picked it up and flipped it to one of his counterparts. So that resulted in an easy goal for Lake Norman.
Both sets of fans cheering as loud as possible. Lake Norman cheering to defend this lead and continue forward with the momentum. Middle Creek trying to instill the momentum in their players.
They're going to need a quick steal here. Down 2 goals with under 2 minutes.
As I've said before, it's just been all Lake Norman in this league game. They have another shot here.
Yeah, and it's due in part to Drew Elder being so good on face-offs. Middle Creek, even when they score, they can't get the ball back to try and score again. They have to make a stop on the defensive end and come around. Now Ben Lever going to the hard slap check and then going over the head, missing both of those.
And they're going to run the clock down to around 1:30. You can see the urgency in Middle Creek trying to get something here. They need a steal.
Yeah, I think Lake Norman actually wants to. I think he wants to score it because last year they lost 17-8. I think they want to bury Middle Creek as hard as they can, and now they're doubling in the end, and he's gonna get it back. He's trying to save it, flips it along, golf shots it, and it looks out of reach for the Mustangs now with 1:16. It's going very tough as they are down 2 with 1:15 left. Score is 12-10 after a Lake Norman timeout. We'll be right back with the Sports Block.
we're back. 1 minute, 15 seconds left. Lake Norman 12, Middle Creek 10. It seems out of reach for the Mustangs, but anything is possible.
I mean, we could see a goal in 5 seconds. I mean, Lake Norman started off the goal with 5 seconds in and already had a goal, and Middle Creek equalized nearly just as quick. I mean, we could see something very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, anything's possible in the game of lacrosse. It's a game of runs, and right now Lake Norman has been on a 3-0 run as of late. They've just flipped the momentum, and Drew Elder telling the Middle Creek fans to quiet down as Matthew Elder dunks the game.
It's 3. It's done.
13 to 10 with 1 minute and 10 seconds left.
Yeah, we're trying to get some more offense in.
Lake Norman fans waving goodbye to the Mustangs.
That's always tough.
I mean, it is extremely tough, and something's going to have to happen. I don't know, man. That just seems like bad sportsmanship to me right there. That was a revenge goal from last year.
Yeah, that was a little bit off. I'm not really sure what it all happened there.
Yeah, they just doubled, and Elder split the double team, got right to the goal, and put it away. If Lake Norman tries to go for another goal here, honestly, it's poor sportsmanship on their part. Graham Schwartz gets called for a face-off violation. He went early.
And they should just run out the clock.
Lake Norman will just run the clock out here.
That's always tough. I mean, Middle Creek's had an outstanding season.
Yeah.
And both teams have played an absolute great final. We couldn't really ask for much more.
Definitely. From a neutral point of view, you cannot get a better final than one that goes right until the last minute even.
Oh, yeah. The last 2 minutes of this game has been absolutely crazy. I mean, both teams.
And Lever de-twigging number 10. So Middle Creek's going to try and get it down. Caputo just taking a bunch of whacks. Moving it up slowly.
Looks like they are just going to try and possession at the end. Here's Caputo, the best player in the state, one of the best in Middle Creek history, if not the best. He won't get that final championship ring in his senior year, but he will get a strike.
And JJ Tolentino scores 13-11 with 18 seconds left. The Mustangs do need a miracle, probably 2 goals in 18 seconds perhaps. But it's possible. Graham Schwartz, it falls hugely on your shoulders.
No pressure, though.
No pressure. Graham knows he's got him with a face-off, and Drew Elder knows if he wins this face-off that he has secured himself a state championship. Both teams have been playing extremely hard, and if Graham wins it, I want to see this come down to the last second.
Definitely. I mean, what an assist on that ball, though. I mean, just a laser pass. Saw him down low. I mean, granted, the game was 3 goals down, but, man, what a pass. And that should seal it.
Elder seals it. Matthew Elder looking for another shot, just flips it up in the air. And a good pass behind the back to Lackey. Seniors playing hard for Mustangs, not wanting to give it up, but with 2-1, Lake Norman has secured a revenge state championship over the Middle Creek Mustangs to get their second one in school history.
Sticks and gloves fly. Lake Norman, the team that were defeated by Middle Creek just 1 year ago in this stadium, are now your North Carolina men's lacrosse champions, and you can see what it means to them.
I mean, they played an absolutely great game. They played their hearts out today, and it shows in the scoreline. I mean, they won this game 13-11. They're really enjoying this revenge, and well-fought game on both sides.
And Daniel, as someone who's been on the other end of the scoreline against the same team, what has to be going through the minds of the Middle Creek players?
I mean, I've been on this side too. I haven't lost a state championship, but I did lose in the East semifinals with the Middle Creek football team, and I will tell you that it is the worst feeling. I mean, honestly, you're gonna cry. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna shed tears. You're gonna be frustrated. You're gonna think of what you could have done better. You're gonna think of, how you got screwed over by the refs. But it doesn't matter. You just have to be proud of what you've done. To these seniors, they got a ring last year, and I know they wanted another one, but you have to be proud. You have to keep your heads held high. I mean, I feel for these boys right now. I know some of these freshmen that wanted a ring bad will use this as motivation, because I know that's what we did when we won it last year. Our motivation was when we lost to Hoggard 2 years ago. We wanted to work harder than everybody in the state to get here, to win. And, you know, so these younger guys, they got to take the motivation and do with that. But to the seniors, I mean, the Creek Crazies are chanting, thank you, seniors, right now. They've done everything they can for this program. They turned it around, you know, got us a state championship last year. So, you know, hats off to them. I got no other words.
I mean, they've shown us an absolutely great season. Going into this game undefeated. They were undefeated what would have been 2 years in a row and still played an absolutely great game. I mean, this championship came down to the last 2 minutes in a 13-11 game.
Yeah,
you can't ask for much more.
These boys, these group of guys, aside from the freshmen because they didn't play last year, but you know, these guys on the field have won 43 straight until today. 43-1. I mean,
that's amazing.
Mental.
That is insane.
That is unprecedented. So definitely one of the best teams in the state of North Carolina. The second best team as of this game. Hats off to Coach Halota, Coach Nick Halota, coming into the program 3 years ago. You know, taking this program from where they were and elevating it to the top. And you know, even though we did lose today, we're still the kings of the East, so the East still runs through Middle Creek. So, I mean, no shame in that.
Definitely. I mean, you could take that one. You can see the Middle Creek players unhappy.
Definitely.
I mean, as you could expect. I've been on the losing end of a final before, not a state championship, but it hurts. Like you said, it definitely hurts. It really is no worse feeling than getting all the way to the final and having it ripped away from you.
Definitely, and it should be really interesting to see how Middle Creek plays next year. They'll have that fire. They'll definitely be going out there trying to prove something.
Yeah, it's going to fall a lot on, you know, Jake Caputo being one of the leaders of this team. He's a phenomenal player. He will be going to Duke after his senior year with his brother Owen. And J.J. Tolentino, along with Coach Loda, taking the state runner-up trophy. I know that it's a plaque and it's going to be in our school, but he does not want to be taking this photo right now.
Oh, I know, definitely. It's always tough. I mean, you know, they all wanted to win. They wanted it very badly, and it's shown in their play, but it's tough.
Yeah, but you know, I'm glad, and I could be bragging, but you know, I'm very glad to be a part of the team that I was last year. You know, and for these guys to get a ring last year and to be able to feel the joy with these brothers, it was a pleasure. And congratulations to Lake Norman on winning their second state championship in school history. Mustangs got to get back there next year.
And here we see Lake Norman accepting their trophy.
It's got to be tough for all the Middle Creek players just standing there watching.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Lake Norman seniors are definitely happy that they got their ring, they got their revenge, but I think it's the Middle Creek's definitely upset with the finish of this game and really wanted more out of this game.
But as you said, Daniel, it was an excellent season for Middle Creek, and to get to the final in itself in an undefeated season, 43 games undefeated through last season in this, you're going to be upset to lose the final, but whenever you look back on it a year or two from now, you've set many records here with this. It's something that they will look back on, and one day they'll smile on it.
Yeah,
although today and for the next few days, that won't necessarily be the case.
Maybe next few days, try a couple months,
Probably
maybe
months,
even, man.
They'll still be feeling that.
You know, you'll be at night, sleep in your bed, and kicking yourself. What can I have done better?
Yeah.
But like I predicted, Drew Elder winning the MVP of this game. I mean, he dominated in the face-offs, and you know, scoring as well, putting the dagger in the Mustangs' hearts. I mean, hats off to him.
That was really the difference in the game. I mean, Drew Elder was absolutely feasting on those face-off plays, and it's very tough to defend when you don't get the ball to start off and put a lot of pressure on the Middle Creek defense.
Yeah, I mean, he has been exceptional this entire game, showed what he was made of, and in every single face-off, except for maybe 2 or 3, he came out victorious. It was that little spin move, but he has to run it back, get up the field, scored within 5 seconds of the opening of the game, and he really did set the tone.
All right, so with Lake Norman Wildcats beating the Middle Creek Mustangs 13-11.